Hold on. I
You
got a couple
know,
questions for y'all though.
yeah,
So, in the chat,
yeah.
is Walmart really funding the No Kings protest? Is that fucking true?
There,
I heard that.
yes, they. Well,
The
not
heiress.
Walmart. To be clear, it's the heiress of Walmart who's giving money towards it. To clarify, it's not Walmart per se, but she is an heiress because of Walmart money. But I want to play this clip from Sunny Hostin. For me, the denial is real, and then we can talk about it. Here we go.
People that live in LA, that work in LA, and they said that these protests were very, very orderly. They weren't violent, and they occurred in about a 4-block radius. And we all.
You pigs! Fucking pigs! Fucking coward pigs! Fucking coward pigs! Come on! Come
This is not just a good gesture, this is something we need to make real. We need to bring down this empire once and for all. All right. Burn it down! Burn it down! Burn it down! Burn it down! Make it great like 92! Make it great like 92! Patriot afraid of you! Patriot afraid of you! Make it great like 92! Make it great like 92! Patriot afraid of you!
Two of them motherfuckers. God.
So, anyways, the point of that clip, I wanted to show everyone so we can all say we haven't seen it. The looting, the burning of the flags, the spitting at the police, the throwing rocks, all of that, all happening. So we can't say it's not there. We can't say it's peaceful. I mean, Enzo, what's your...
I have so much I could say. Where do I start with this? I think it's absolutely fucking disgusting. And I think it's even more disgusting that on the left they want to deny that this is all going on when we all seen what's really going on there. Yeah, there probably is peaceful protesting that happened. Don't get me wrong, there probably is. But when it turns into this is fucking disgusting. Sorry to say it. It's like I'm watching video footage from from Sinaloa, Mexico. That's what I'm looking at. Spitting on the American flag, raising up fucking Mexican flags in LA. I don't give a shit that LA or California was a part of Mexico at one point. We're in America now. For you to do that, you should be deported. I don't give a shit if you're an American citizen or not. You should be deported at that point. And I'm going to say that with my full chest, and I will double down on that every single which way to Sunday. Anybody who burns an American flag and is raiding up another foreign flag, get the fuck out of our country. 100%, I stand by that. This is disgusting what they're doing there. I'm happy as shit Donald Trump put the Marines and the National Guard in there. This needed to be done. To see an entire city just sit back and let this ruin and looting and rioting and stomping on the American flag because you're pissed off with this administration is disgusting. If you want to protest the government, you want to protest the administration, go burn the seal of the president. Don't burn the American flag, which the fucking soldiers who died for to give you that right to protest the government, don't burn their flag. That's who that represents. So, I mean, that's it. Before I keep going.
Kamal, as someone that lives in California, what's your thoughts?
Well, like I told y'all on Monday, in Dago, they ain't protesting shit. They out here chilling. I told you they over here barbecuing and all types of shit over here in San Diego. It's in LA. It's like in downtown LA. But I'm just like, what I was surprised was seeing so many cop cars destroyed and not one motherfucker was shot. Damn, I remember when we was protesting. God damn. We getting Billy Club. They sending rock rollers on us, all types of shit. And then this person in the chat, it's kind of funny you said that. India Thomas, she said some of this shit is AI.
That's wild work.
What?
Oh my goodness. But yeah,
Boy, no way, boy.
That's wild work.
Boy, no way.
Sorry.
But I just don't get, like, they're fighting for illegal immigrants, not immigrants. Illegal. Like, and they burning the flag and shit. I don't know, man. Why they waste their money, man? They bought 2 flags to burn them motherfuckers. It's a waste of money, in my opinion. Goddamn, you could have spent that money. You feel me? Get that ticket back to the great goddamn country of Mexico. There's some beautiful spots in Mexico. You feel me? That y'all could be in. Damn. Y'all want to be over here destroying shit over here.
Well, this is my thing, Kamal. Let's say I buy your house from you. Let's say I buy your house for $500,000. I'm living in this house for 20 years. Then you think you're going to sneak into my house. How did I steal my house? How did I steal the house from you if I gave you money for it? Because they always say, oh, Mexico, this is stolen land. Well, it's not stolen land. They ceded Mexico to the U.S. in the Treaty of, hold on. They sold it for $15 million.
Yeah.
Treaty of Guadalupe Hidalgo. Okay. So how is it stolen? It's not stolen land. They sold it just like every other, the Louisiana Purchase. Yeah, I remember stuff from elementary school. I'm gonna let y'all rock. I don't know. I'm with y'all. It's crazy.
Hey, I want to bring in someone from the left here. What's your thoughts on everything you're hearing? Is it our lying eyes? Is it AI? Like, what are we seeing here?
So I want to say this really quickly. When we talk about the purchasing of Texas and all of those parts, we conquered it, took it, and then later on we paid for it. So it was stolen and then paid for afterwards. So just wanted to give some clarification on that. And then second, so far as I see with the protest, I see it as people are upset about what's going on. I just find it really hypocritical that the right talks about sending in the guard, but you did not want to send the guard in when we literally had people storming the Capitol and threatening sitting politicians from certifying a rifle election. I find it that is the definition of an insurrection, trying to overthrow the government. That's what they were doing when they were calling for the unalignment of politicians and going into the buildings looking for these people to do it.
So, well, King, they're doing these protests and they're getting aggressive in front of a federal building at the ICE facility. Is that not the same thing, or is it different, or is it okay because we're fighting for people? So what's the difference?
Well, hold on, Nora. I gotta push back on King. King, they did want to send in. It was Nancy Pelosi that rejected the National Guard. And if I'm not, actually, I know because I remember this because I'm not far from Washington, D.C. I also know that the mayor of Washington, D.C., Muriel Bowser, did take, I want to say 100,000 soldiers, excuse me, 100,000 to with the January,
Out of
can
reserve,
we
yeah.
say with the January 6th? So, you know, I
want to push
mean,
back.
Nancy Pelosi, Trump did not have authority to straight up send in folks for January 6th. Pelosi rejected that.
So I
So did
want to
Gavin
push back
Newsom.
on that, if you don't mind, just for a quick
Sure.
second. We go to the Constitution. The Constitution makes the president the commander in chief. He is the sole decision maker when we talk about military. If we talk about the National Guard is under regular operations, operates under its governor. In that situation, so far as when we talk about the states that were surrounding, and I can tell you this for a fact, Virginia and Maryland had National Guard troops stationed in on specific bases. I know for Virginia National Guard, there were soldiers sitting there for 2 days at Fort Pickett waiting to get authority from the president to go into DC. See, when we talk about the army and we talk about the military, the only person that has the authority to command the military is the president. The Speaker of the House has no authority over that. So if the president was being advised, which we know he was advised that things were going to get bad, he still refused to authorize these National Guard units to come into DC because they can't just ride up there willy-nilly. The mayor of DC does not have authority over the DC National Guard. The only person that has authority over DC National Guard is the president of the United States. Point blank, period. It's no other person that they answer to.
So,
And then
Alexis, you're on the right. I want to ask you this. Did you support
That is
what
not a
happened
new
on January 6th? Yes or no? And also, would you have opposed the military going in for what happened at the Capitol that day?
So opposing the military going into for on January 6th, no, I don't oppose that. However, I do know that Trump did request for there to be more security presence there. They were turned away. They said that they already had enough. I think it was, I don't recall exactly who turned them away. It wasn't Donald Trump though. That being said, January 6th, I believe everyone has the right to protest. Everyone absolutely has the right to protest. I live in LA. So anyone who's talking about that, like National Guard not being necessary, either you're wrong. You're absolutely wrong. I don't care what anyone says. I don't care how many of you think that it's fake. It's not fake. It's happening. People's property, people's daily lives are being, obstructed in the sense to where it's like, people don't want to go anywhere. I had to take my grandparents to a doctor's appointment. Like, they're not the same thing, because not just that, but peaceful protesting is one thing. The moment that it turns violent and it becomes a riot, that's what it is now. It is now a riot. It is now insanity. It is now no longer peaceful, regardless of how it started. That's not what it is now. So it needs to be addressed accordingly. January 6th, they addressed it accordingly. They got it over within a day. This has been going on for what, 5 days now? This is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Skeptic, what's your thoughts? We said a whole lot. I'm sure you want to respond to.
Yeah, so I do want to begin by saying I think it's funny when people are like, why are they waving Mexican flags around? We see all countries wave their flags around. Not only do we see them wave their flags around, we name certain parts of cities Little Italy. We name certain parts of city, Little Tokyo, and little literal other countries. So I think
And I
that,
always hated it, Skeptic. I'm always consistent. Go
and
ahead,
I have
Skeptic.
no problem with it. I have no problem with Little Italy. I've been to Italy. I've been to different places, and when I get to go into a place and I see their culture, it doesn't bother me. I don't dislike different cultures. So I think it's interesting to me that everyone gets up in arms about it. Also, I don't necessarily agree with the burning of the flag. I have respect for the flag, but July 4th is about to come around, and we're going to see a bunch of women in flag bikinis and men with flag shorts sitting on them and getting drunk, and like it's funny that everyone has the different standard for different people, but we don't keep the logical consistency. Like, we're so inconsistent when it comes to people in different groups that we disagree with. So that's a funny thing to me that I have noticed. And I also want to say that the city of Los Angeles has a riot police. And the LA riot police was not sent out to the protest. So I think that if you believe in state rights and if you believe that the federal government should be smaller and they shouldn't obstruct on state rights, you should be advocating for the state of California to do the things that they need to do and govern their city appropriately. I think it's very, again, hypocritical to me that people argue pro to state rights when it comes to different things. I mean, our country almost divided itself over it, but now all of a sudden we're for the federal government, the federal government overstepping their boundaries, and contrary to the governor of California saying, "Don't come to my state." The mayor saying, "We don't need you. We have riot police here." We send, soldiers in and basically overstepped our power. So I think there's multiple things that are simultaneously going on at the same time. I also want to say that the Pride Parade was going on at the same time that these protests were going on. They were going on at the same time.
Not the Pride Parade. I'm not
So
making fun of you.
I think I'm
Who
like,
cares about that?
I just feel like it's, to me, I do think that they are politicizing something that could have been handled differently, is all I'm saying. Were there people that were, violating people's, private property? Yes. And I don't agree with that. I don't agree with the violence. Those cars that you saw that were set on fire were self-driving cars. If you see the top of those cars, there's somebody ordered them to this area. So I do think there, like the mayor was saying, there is some, different things going on here. And I do think that buttons are being pushed and people are fed up with it. People are unhappy with this government. People are unhappy with this president. This president said today that their ICE policies may be a little bit too strong because now the farmers don't have workers. I mean, we have a DEI hire in the office as a president, and this is what happens. Chaos is what happens
So,
after that.
guys, we
I must
actually
say,
do
I
have
don't think
great.
buttons are being pushed. I do think buttons are being pushed, but not in the way you saying it. I think there is a larger plan at play here. I think it's, and I'm not going to get too much into it, but I don't think this is just an organic thing solely. So I'm with you there. I definitely, I think there's some moving parts that we don't know.
Nora,
Can I just shoot something?
one second. Nora's gonna say something.
She's been
Nora,
having
do you want to say it?
she been having some
All right.
because we text, she's been having some stuff.
Well,
so
Mia
y'all-
just texted in